would request all the panelists to please on their cameras. Hi Vikas, hi Rahul, hi Saurabh,
Hi
hi
Taha,
Tanaya,
hi Vikas, Tanaya, Saurav. Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Tanaya. So shall we start?
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to welcome all of you to this session in which we will be guiding the audience about various articleship domains and what we would get work experience and how these domains, what we choose now, will be aligned to our career goals. Further, we would also help them regarding interview questions and all. Like there will be a short 5 to 10 minutes thing in which we will be guiding them that these were the questions which were asked to you when you were giving the interviews. So it will be better for them. And also, we would also give them like if they want like whom to forward their CVs and all, which are made IDs if possible. Um, so let's start now. So first, I would like to start with the introduction. So the first one to speak amongst you will be Saurabh Kupchandani. He did his articleship in audit domain for around 11 months to 1 year in KPMG. That is whose another name is BSR and Co LLP or BSR and Co Associates. Then he switched to Transaction Square, in which he was in valuations domain. And then he did his articleship from Transaction Square. Further, then the next speaker will be Rahul. Rahul Kumar. Rahul Kumar Maheshwari. He is doing his articleship in transfer pricing domain. So he'll be guiding you all regarding transfer pricing. What is that, and what are the pros and cons in doing articleship in transfer pricing? He is currently doing his articleship in EY, that is SRBC and Co. Okay. The third speaker would be Vikas. So Vikas Kirtani did his articleship from Grant Thornton in the domain IDT. Okay, so it is like indirect taxes and all. So he will be guiding you regarding indirect taxes, and currently is doing his industrial training in Credit Suisse. Okay. Further, the last speaker would be Tanaya Thakur. She is doing her articleship in audit domain in EY, SRBC and Co. So she will be guiding you all for SRBC and for audit domain. And these are all our speakers. Saurabh, as always, is quite ranker and all. He got his All India rank in CA Intermediate, that is All India rank 19. And so we have a great mentor and guide amongst you. Rahul is a person who is great in analytical skills, and also he will be guiding you from that aspects. And Vikas, as usual, is an all-rounder sports person and all, so he'll be guiding you regarding, as I said, IDT. And Tanaya, as usual, a great presenter, orator, will be guiding you all regarding those domains. So we could start. The first round will be, they will be guiding you that what are these roles about. Okay, so in 5 to 8 minutes, they will be guiding you what are these roles about. For example, what is transfer pricing? We have generally seen that in articleship, people just know that there is audit and tax. Okay, but we don't know any other than this. For example, there is TP, there is IDT, there is valuation, there are M&A tax, there are various other profiles as well. So they will be guiding you regarding what these profiles are. So let's start with Saurabh. Saurabh, you can start.
Hi everyone. Thanks for the compliment and for introducing me. So I will quickly sum up my journey first. So I was in a statutory audit domain in KPMG Pune for around 8.5 months. And after that, I switched to Transaction Square in valuation profile. So I also worked there for till November end. So altogether, the both of the journey were amazing. But as this session is more focused towards valuation profile, so I would like to start giving my experience and what I have learned in the valuation profile, and like what all responsibilities I have handled being a article assistant in this Transaction Square. So firstly, the experience was it is a challenging profile. In the beginning, like you have to get through a lot of things which you are not used to. You have to first, it's because we basically have a background. I have as my previous one was about audit, so this valuation profile is more focused towards what we have learned in our FM and more of a financial modeling perspective. So I have also worked on many industries such as this real money gaming, on pharma, in real estate, in this aerospace industry. So I have covered basically many of the clients, and what actually our role as an article was to like basically gather the data around the market price data of the comparable companies which are used in the beta analysis, or for the comparable company point of view. We have to we had a subscription of Capital IQ, which is a very renowned a provider of data. So we used to take some of the data of from that. We used to scroll to company websites and all to get the latest data from the annual reports and all. So that was basically about this gathering the data. And apart from that, we also used to prepare the final valuation reports. Like there were the reports were for basically many purposes, such as the FEMA, for Companies Act, as some of the other companies also used to carry out valuation for internal evaluation purpose, in case they are going for their future funding round, Series A, Series B, or the venture capital round. They also used to get an idea about what is the value of their per share equity value. And also, as it was a valuation profile, there is valuation of many things. But I have also worked on this compulsory convertible debenture, compulsory convertible preference shares, and intangibles such as the know-how, goodwill, and all these things are also valued. So this is my major learning about this valuation profile. And like the benefit which I think to an CA industrial, to a CA article assistant of this profile in future would be like, if you get into a core finance field like IB, or in an equity research profile. So you have to basically carry out valuation, and you have to like you need to get idea about like what valuation is all about, what are the different methods used, and like how the companies are taking out their value when, even if they are raising their funding rounds. So it will benefit in that profile. But in like, if you are planning to go for your own practice, or say in a normal a tier 2 or tier 3 city, so I don't think then valuation profile which much be of use. But anyways, you can get some of the clients, and there are also certifications which you give which give you that eligibility, so that you can sign these valuation reports, which are known as the registered valuer examination. So you can also appear for that if you want to practice and give the signed valuation report. Yeah, so that was a brief about my valuation profile.
Okay, thank you, Saurabh. So to summarize what Saurabh said, in valuations, हमारा काम क्या होता है? We generally do research, like what, for example, we got an assignment. What we will do, we will just gather the data first, okay, regarding what are the comparables and all. And valuations can be for various purposes, right? For example, you need some funding. So funding has various types, which you will learn in future, like Series A, B, C, startup fundings and all. Venture capitalist funding, जो आप अभी Shark Tank etc. में देखते हो. So this funding, so for this there are some valuations, right? So for that valuations, what we as articles do, we first gather the data, okay, and after that gathering the data, we run some financial models on it, okay. As we studied in FM or like this case, there are various methods, okay, asset based approach and etc. There are various methods. So based on it, we value companies and we prepare a report and we give that report to client, okay. So those who have future career goals assigned as valuers, yeah, what we say in core IB, जिसको investment banking में जाना है, etc. So they can prefer this profile, because in this there is every case is different, and we have to think about which comparable companies to take and which model, which method to use generally. Right, Saurabh?
Right. And also from a financial modeling perspective, so some of the times the client does not have that competencies or resources, so that he can build a financial model on which we would be able to carry out valuation. So in that case also, we get that activity is outsourced as well, and we also make models on the basis of historical financials and the internal reports which the top level is using. So that will also, if you are trying to enter in a profile, say FP&A, financial planning and analysis, so that will also add value in that profile.
Yeah. So this was regarding valuations. We can further move to Rahul. Rahul, please guide us on TP.
Yeah, yeah. So, uh, so generally क्या होता है कि as Tahara rightly mentioned that generally we guys after clearing the intermediate exam we are very well aware that there are fields like audit, taxation है. Taxation में भी there is a field of direct taxation and indirect taxation. We are just limited to this I would say कि, this level of information. But there is a field called transfer pricing, and of course, before sharing my experience of transfer pricing, I would like to explain that why transfer pricing and what transfer pricing is. So, yeah, Taha, अपने audience में ये mic on कर सकते हैं क्या students?
Yes, मतलब they can raise hands, so मैं फिर उनको allow कर सकता
Unmute करिए. Okay. हमको एक एक को unmute करना पड़ेगा क्या? Like they themselves can't
हूँ. हाँ,
unmute.
एक. Yes.
Okay, so guys, just immediately type in
They can
chat that
chat. Yeah,
they can क्या?
they can chat. They can answer in
Okay.
chat.
Just guys, just chat में लिख दो यार that you are active and hi, hello, something कुछ show some active participation यार. Okay, so you want to know about the transfer pricing since it's very new and untouched field. Just quickly यार in chat box. Hi, hello, something like that. Come on यार, you 30 people are there ना. All right. No worries. So most of them जो भी हमारा attendees है उसमें से mostly वो लोग ही होंगे ना जो लोग
I think
recently intermediate
वो
clear किया. Sorry.
वो chat disable आ रहा है, so एक मिनट में इनको है ना आंसर ओमकार and this वेदांत, इनको मैं unmute करता हूँ. They want to talk. See, I have unmuted Omkar.
Yes.
Yes. Hi ओमकार. तुमने कभी पहले ट्रांसफर
हाँ सुना है, नाम तो सुना है.
नाम सुना है क्या? ओके, इतना बस नाम सुना है. ओके, सो ओके.
हाँ मतलब क्या होता है थोड़ा बहुत पता है, मतलब कि लाइक आर्म्स लेंथ प्राइस और ऐसा कुछ तो है.
या
इतना बस.
ठीक है, मैं थोड़ा सा इसको स्ट्रक्चर करता हूँ अभी आज. एंड सो आई वाज सेइंग कि मोस्ट ऑफ द ऑडियंस में से वो लोग होंगे जिन्होंने रिसेंटली इंटरमीडिएट क्लियर किया. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कांग्रेचुलेशंस टू देम. या तुम लोगों ने सच में कुछ गाड़ा है, झंडा गाड़ा है दैट यू हैव क्लियर्ड बोथ द ग्रुप्स ऑफ इंटरमीडिएट एंड नाउ यू आर लुकिंग फॉर द आर्टिकलशिप. सो ओके, कमिंग टू द ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग व्हिच इज माय टॉपिक. एंड so why transfer pricing is so पहले क्या होता था like in before 2001 I would say before 2001 जो MNCs रहती थी, multinational companies जो रहती थी, suppose let's take an example. There is a company called ITC India. In India there is a company called ITC India. Okay, उसका कोई तो सब्सिडरी है केमन आइलैंड में. लेट्स से कि इन केमन आइलैंड में ITC केमन, देयर इज अ सब्सिडरी ऑफ ITC इंडिया. ठीक है. So suppose ITC India is earning a profit of 1000 crore. Okay, and इंडिया में टैक्स रेट कितना है? लाइक इंडिया में टैक्स रेट ऑन एन एवरेज कंपनीज को पे करना होता है 40%. राइट था.
या
ओके, इंडिया में ऑन एन एवरेज अगर कंपनी को 40% पे करना होता है तो आईटीसी इंडिया कितना पे करेगी? 400 करोड़ रुपए आईटीसी इंडिया को पे करना पड़ेगा ऑन द प्रॉफिट ऑफ 1000 करोड़. राइट. सो व्हाट आईटीसी इंडिया विल डू कि उसकी एक दूसरी सब्सिडरी है केमन आइलैंड में. राइट. सो और केमन आइलैंड हम सबको पता है वो की टैक्स हेवन कंट्री है, वहां पर टैक्स रेट है 0. ओके, सो आईटीसी इंडिया विल डू कि यहाँ से प्रॉफिट शिफ्ट कर लेगी वो समहाउ to its subsidiary in Cayman Island, which is ITC Cayman. Okay. So इंडिया में क्या होगा? प्रॉफिट शिफ्ट हो जाएगा इंडिया से एंड इंडिया में टैक्स इवेड हो जाएगा. सो ओवरऑल गवर्नमेंट को लॉस कितना होगा इसमें? 400 करोड़ का लॉस हो जाएगा ऑन एन प्रॉफिट ऑफ 1000 करोड़. अगर प्रॉफिट इंडिया में अर्न किया है किसी पर्टिकुलर कंपनी ने, दैट शुड बी टैक्स्ड इन इंडिया. ओके, राइट. दिस इज रीजनेबल और नॉट? अगर कंपनीज प्रॉफिट इंडिया में अर्न कर रही है तो इसको कंपनीज को पे करना चाहिए टैक्सेस. राइट. बट कंपनीज 2001 से पहले ये किया करती थी कि अपना प्रॉफिट किसी तो भी और कंट्री में शिफ्ट करके ऐसे टैक्स इवेड करती थी. ओके, सो आफ्टर 2001 क्या हुआ कि ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग के प्रोविजंस इंट्रोड्यूस हुए बाय टैक्स अथॉरिटीज. एंड व्हाट ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग प्रोविजंस says, now I'm coming what TP is. Okay, so just pay attention that ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग प्रोविजंस ये कहते हैं कि अगर इफ any company is having transaction with its having international transaction with its subsidiary, then that transaction should be at fair market value or at arm's length price. जो भी आप अपनी सब्सिडरीज के साथ में ट्रांजेक्शन करोगे, इंटरनेशनल ट्रांजेक्शन करोगे, वो फेयर मार्केट वैल्यू पे होने चाहिए. अभी जो मैंने बोला कि प्रॉफिट शिफ्ट कर लेंगे 400 करोड़ का, वो कैसे करेंगे? कोई ना कोई ट्रांजेक्शन करेंगे बिटवीन इंडियन एंटिटीज एंड केमन एंटिटी के बीच में कोई तो ट्रांजेक्शन होगा जिसमें कि 400 करोड़ रुपए प्रॉफिट शिफ्ट हो जाएगा. अभी ट्रांजेक्शन क्या होगा, लेट्स से कि इंडियन एंटिटी कुछ तो रॉ मटेरियल लेती है केमन आइलैंड से. ओके, अभी रॉ मटेरियल होगा वो 500 सीआर का, उसकी वर्थ होगी 500 सीआर. ओके, एंड इंडियन एंटिटी उसको पे करेगी 1000 सीआर, केमन आइलैंड को पे करेगी 1000 सीआर, जस्ट फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ शिफ्टिंग इट्स प्रॉफिट एंड सेविंग द टैक्सेस. समझ रहे हो? हाँ, क्रोनोलॉजी समझ रहे हो कि 1000 प्रॉफिट को शिफ्ट करना था उसको. सो उसने रॉ मटेरियल लिया 500 सीआर का एंड उन्होंने पे किया 1000 सीआर, तो हो गया प्रॉफिट शिफ्टिंग. सो इसीलिए ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग बोलता है कि जो भी आप अपनी एसोसिएट एंटिटीज विच इज सब्सिडरीज और रिलेटेड पार्टीज के साथ में ट्रांजेक्शन करते हो, दैट ट्रांजेक्शन शुड बी एट आर्म्स लेंथ प्राइस विच इज फेयर मार्केट वैल्यू. अगर फेयर मार्केट वैल्यू पे हो गया तो बस ना, फिर तो प्रॉफिट शिफ्टिंग हो गई नहीं. अगर रॉ मटेरियल खरीदा है 500 सीआर का, देन 500 सीआर शुड बी पेड टू दैट केमन एंटिटी ना. ओके, सो ऐसे करके लाइक टैक्स अथॉरिटीज मॉनिटर करती है कि जो जो भी आप रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजेक्शंस करते हो. रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजेक्शंस कहाँ से आते हैं? जो हमारे ऑडिटर्स फिनेंशियल्स बना के देते हैं हमको. उसमें एक पर्टिकुलर क्लॉज रहता है, लास्ट क्लॉज रहता है मोस्टली कि रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजेक्शंस बोल के, उसमें रिलेटेड पार्टीज भी बताते हैं कौन कौन से ट्रांजेक्शंस ड्यूरिंग द ईयर हुए. जो टैक्स अथॉरिटीज वो मॉनिटर करती है कि ट्रांजेक्शंस फेयर मार्केट वैल्यू पे है या नहीं है. एंड नाउ कमिंग टू द व्हाट वी पीपल डू इन ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग डोमेन. जो जनरली हमारा क्वेश्चन रहता है लाइक न्यू जॉइनीज का और द पीपल क्लियर इंटरमीडिएट, उनका जनरली क्वेश्चन रहता है कि हमको क्या रोल मिलेगा, हम क्या करेंगे ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग में आफ्टर जॉइनिंग सम बिग फोर्स और सम टॉप फर्म्स. ओके, सो ये जो मैंने बोला कि ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग जो ट्रांजेक्शन रहता है वो आर्म्स लेंथ प्राइस पे रहना चाहिए. ओके, रहना चाहिए. कैसे आएगा वो आर्म्स लेंथ प्राइस पे, और हम टैक्स अथॉरिटीज को कैसे जस्टिफाई करेंगे, या हमने ये ट्रांजेक्शन किया है, सो एंड सो ट्रांजेक्शन किया है, रॉ मटेरियल खरीदा 500 सीआर का था और हमने 500 सीआर पे किया. अभी वो 500 सीआर ही आर्म्स लेंथ प्राइस है, ये कैसे जस्टिफाई करेंगे? सो उसमें आता है हमारा रोल. फिर clients approach us and says कि हमारा during the year ये transaction हुआ है and we are supposed to draft an TP report which we call transfer pricing study report. सो उस ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग स्टडी रिपोर्ट में हम लोग क्या देते हैं? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम क्लाइंट का बैकग्राउंड देते हैं एंड द क्लाइंट जिस इंडस्ट्री में ऑपरेट कर रहा है उस इंडस्ट्री का ब्रीफ बैकग्राउंड देते हैं एंड द लिस्ट ऑफ द ट्रांजेक्शंस व्हिच द क्लाइंट ट्रांजेक्टेड ड्यूरिंग द ईयर. सो वो लिस्ट ऑफ द ट्रांजेक्शन एंड उसका रेस्पेक्टिव अमाउंट कि ये ट्रांजेक्शन किया और इतने वैल्यू का ट्रांजेक्शन किया. आफ्टर दैट हम लोग देते हैं कि इकोनॉमिक एनालिसिस, जिसमें कि हम लोग जस्टिफाई करते हैं कि हाँ ये ट्रांजेक्शन हुआ है ड्यूरिंग द ईयर और ये ट्रांजेक्शन आर्म्स लेंथ प्राइस पे कैसे आ रहा है. सो हम लोग जस्टिफाई कैसे करते हैं उसको कि हम सपोज आईटीसी इंडिया का सॉफ्टवेयर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन वाला पार्ट है, उसका कोई तो ट्रांजेक्शन है कि सॉफ्टवेयर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का कोई ट्रांजेक्शन है, तो हम लोग इंडस्ट्री में देखेंगे आईटीसी की जैसी सिमिलर कंपनीज और कौन सी है. ठीक है, सो इसका डेटा मिलता है हमको पब्लिक डेटाबेसेस. देयर आर सो 2 और 3 पब्लिक डेटाबेसेस जो कि अप्रूव्ड बाय टैक्स अथॉरिटीज है, उनसे हम लोग डेटा लेते हैं कि हाँ कि ये आईटी कंपनीज है और ड्यूरिंग द ईयर उन आईटी कंपनीज ने ये ट्रांजेक्शंस किए. हम उनमें से वो मतलब जो हमने ट्रांजेक्शन किया हम वो ट्रांजेक्शन बाहर निकालते, ड्रॉप आउट करते हैं उसमें से एंड देन वी इवेल्युएट कि उसने इतने मार्जिन पे अर्न किया है. लेट्स से उसने 5% मार्जिन अर्न किया है ऑन एन ओवरऑल ट्रांजेक्शन वैल्यू. सो हम भी 5% अर्न कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे? हम अगर 5% अर्न कर रहे हैं, वी आर अर्निंग 5%, देन या we are at arm's length price. So this is how we justify that we are at arm's length price. So it's because of time constraint, I would like to conclude कि हाँ, after TP study report there is one compliance, okay, form 3CEB which is known as. जिसकी ड्यू डेट रहती है 31st October. And what that Form 3CEB demands from us is that during the year जो भी transaction हुए, the number of transaction and the amount of that transaction, even if the transaction is of ₹1, then that transaction must be listed in that form. So during the year हमारे client ने जो transactions किए वो Form 3CEB में हम लोग report करते हैं, उसका amount of transactions report करते हैं. So that was from compliance point of view that we comply with Form 3CEB. अब जो मैंने transfer pricing TP study report बोला था कि इस लॉ में कहीं पर भी ये नहीं लिखा है कि आपको जो आपने जो टीपी स्टडी रिपोर्ट ड्राफ्ट की है वो आपको कहीं पर जाके फाइल करना है. ओके, सो टीपी रिपोर्ट क्लाइंट कहीं पर भी फाइल नहीं करता है. ओके, सो हम टीपी रिपोर्ट के बेसिस पे हम लोग वो फॉर्म 3CEB भरते हैं. ओके, हम उस फॉर्म के साथ में कंप्लाई करते हैं. और अगर आफ्टर 1 or 2 years अगर असेसमेंट ओपन होता है, देन द टैक्स अथॉरिटीज और द असेसमेंट अथॉरिटीज डिमांड्स अस फ्रॉम दैट ट्रांसफर टीपी स्टडी रिपोर्ट, एंड दैट द असेसमेंट प्रोसीजर स्टार्ट हो जाता है. Okay, so that was why TP, what is TP and what we people do in TP. Okay, that was from, yeah, that was something from my side. And just one more thing, that transfer pricing, if someone select transfer pricing in their articleship, so they will mainly get the benefit, like they will get three kind of learnings. One, the compliance wala part, which I mentioned, form 3CEB. There are various forms which we comply with. And the another part is litigation wala part. Litigation wala part is quite interesting. Yeah, so we will like from TP assessment to DRP to CIT to ITAT to high court and supreme court तक का भी वहाँ तक भी matters escalate होते हैं. So litigation वाला part हो गया, and third one is advisory वाला part. So year beginning of the year client approaches us कि हम during the year ये transaction करने वाले हैं, what should be our margin. तो एक वो वाला part हो गया advisory वाला part. उसमें हम client को advise करते हैं at the beginning of the year कि हाँ, if you are going to enter into this transaction, then you must be ending with this percentage of margin. Okay, so yeah. Yes, that was from my side. If anyone have in audience have questions, so they may ask. Would be happy to answer.
Yeah, they can ask in Q&A. So to summarize in short, like TP, if अगर आपको याद होगा, so in foundation या in 12th we used to prepare the trading and P&L. So उसमें या तो आप डेबिट साइड को कम भी कर सकते हो, बढ़ा भी सकते हो, मतलब based on what you want to shift your taxes or you want your जहाँ पे आपका कंपनी लोकेटेड है वहां पे अगर आपको शिफ्ट करना है टैक्सेस, या अगर आपका जो डोमेस्टिक कंपनी है वहां पे अगर आपको लाना है, सो वी कैन जस्ट प्ले विथ नंबर्स इन आइदर डेबिट साइड और क्रेडिट साइड, और बेस्ड ऑन इट प्रॉफिट शिफ्ट करते हैं. एंड एज राहुल सेड के अभी टीपी में वी एज आर्टिकल्स गेट एन एक्सपोजर ऑफ एडवाइजरी पार्ट, लिटिगेशन पार्ट एंड स्टडी रिपोर्ट प्रिपरेशन पार्ट. सो एडवाइजरी में एज सेड कि अगर क्लाइंट आपको कोई एक्स मार्जिन बताता है, and based on it we have to advise him कि क्या करना चाहिए and what we should, how we should plan the transactions during the year, yeah, जो भी रहेगा. So depend upon it. And second thing is litigation. Litigation के अंदर there are some matters which are litigated, so we have to represent the client and we have to justify like why this was selected or why this was done. And there is no and all the things which we did are in the scope of arm's length and not our violation of some rules. ओके, एंड टीपी स्टडी रिपोर्ट के बेस पे 3CEB हम फिल करते हैं, जिसका एक इम्प्लीकेशन इनकम टैक्स में भी आता है जब वी डू टैक्स ऑडिट. So this was for TP. Now, thank you, Rahul. So now further for IDT, Vikas will guide you.
Hello.
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, yeah, I'm audible. Okay, so first of all, thank you. It's a big thanks to ICI for conducting this amazing initiative, and of course, a very dear friend of mine, Taha Merchant. He's, all of his active participation in all these ICI events truly commendable. So, yeah, to begin with, a bit about myself. I've actually pursued my articleship from GT in indirect taxation profile as briefed by Taha. So first of all, I'll keep it short, and so I'll tell you first why GST as a career. I mean, why would someone choose GST? Okay, so the first thing that actually helps you decide is GST. I'll say is everywhere. So the first thing is GST is everywhere. I mean, every bit of your life that you look at, GST is involved. Like if you purchase a toffee of say 1 rupee, or you say a machine of 2 lakh rupees, there is GST in everything. So you are able to connect with that profile. So secondly, GST is more of a new thing. All right, so it's been what, I mean, 6 years that GST was introduced in India, and there is a lot of scope that still lies in the uncovered part of taxes of GST. So there are still litigations and appeals that are coming up nowadays and recently, which helps the lawmakers to amend the indirect taxes laws according to the needs of the people. So that's one thing. It is because GST is more of a new thing, and since it is new, and since GST is involved in almost every part of our life, it has a huge market. So if you look at from a career point of view, or let's say a job point of view, there is a lot of job and future requirements, honestly, which will be there in GST profile. And third thing that you'll get when working in taxes, you'll get a sense of what exactly taxes are. So this was one of the funny incidents from a workshop that I can recall of Jeffrey Spielberg when I attended one of his workshops in around December 2020. He said that if you want to teach anyone about taxes, just eat 30% of their food. So that's that's what he told. And I mean, you get a sense of what taxes are. I mean, the government is taking a share of your income, and since it is so important, I mean the part of your hard earned income that the government is taking, so you need to minimize that in a legal way. So that's what working in IDT is. I mean, you are just trying to reduce the amount that is paid out of your pocket to someone else, right? So keeping your income with yourself, right? So in a legal way, of course, not tax evasion. And the fourth thing that I would like to tell you is, when working in GST, it's not a very niche profile. So if like Rahul said, transfer pricing, and like Saurabh as well in valuations, these profiles are pretty niche, and it's hard to at least comparatively harder to find a job there. So when working in GST, you won't find this problem because you can easily get into corporates, and because all the top corporates and everyone is operating in GST. So it's easy to work in corporates as well. And if you want to start with your practice or say GST consulting, that is pretty much on that side as well. So it's so these were the career oriented benefits and what all GST is. And speaking about what exactly was my role. So role in GST is pretty much narrower than what it is in audit. So audit covers a little of everything. So audit is huge. I mean, any company that if an audit assignment has been given to you for a company, you'll try to explore every part or every income or every expense that the company is incurring, right? Whereas GST is more of narrowed down and taken only to the extent of taxes. So GST in that sense has a narrower scope than audit. And what was our role at in GST was primarily GST is divided into, indirect taxes are divided into two parts. One is GST and one is customs. And the taxes that you pay inside India and everything that you buy or anything, that's called goods and service taxes, which has been put up in 2017 under the same umbrella. Like various taxes have been vanished, and it is all put under GST. So that's about GST. And I've also had a couple of assignments working on customs. So customs is more about import and export. So whatever is going outside the territory of India or what is coming in, the customs guide more of that. So what exactly did we do in IDT profile was analysis of a company's expenditure and income, so as to help the company to get the maximum benefit out of the expenses. So as you have studied in intermediate, you know that there are a few credits that are blocked, right? So those credits are not to be counted in eligible ITC. So our job is to determine that whether a specific expense that has been incurred by a company is falling under that category, and if yes, to what extent. So there are sometimes specific percentages when we talk about capital assets and everything, all the expenses that we do. So more of so there are two aspects to the job. So first is analytical part, and second is more of typical part. So analytical part actually involves analyzing clients' income and to what extent can the client benefit from taxes, right? And second part is typical I'm saying as in it's more of reporting. So what is in GST is the government has prescribed a few forms. I'll say form GSTR1, form 3B, form 9C. So these are a few forms that the government has already prescribed, and you have to report in that format. So basically you're analyzing the income and then you're putting all the data in Excel, which ultimately helps you get the numbers which are to be put in the ultimate report. So that is, that are the two aspects for working in IDT. One is technical side and one is analytical side. I will say analytical side will help you actually connect with the business side of all the corporates, all the major corporates. Everyone is honestly a kirana shop se leke everyone till Amazon, everyone is paying taxes and GST. So it will help you connect to your real life, and yeah, in growth as well, career as well, professionally, it's an amazing profile to work in, since it has a very wide scope and wide availability of jobs.
Okay. Are you done, Vic?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Vikas. So to summarize what he said, in GST we have two sides, analytical and technical side. So what we generally do is अपना काम ये रहता है कि we generally analyze the expense side majorly, generally speaking, and वो analyze करके कि what are the credits which to be taken and credits not to be taken as per 75. This is just one of the example of analytical side.
examples,
And
right.
and other what we can do is we have to analyze the numbers which are going in GSTR 1, 3B or 9C that are correct or not. We have to just ensure it. ताकि future में there are
Right.
because अगर कुछ गलत number चला जाए and then we have interest liabilities on it, right? And penalties,
Right.
etc. So
True.
to
Yes.
prevent the client from it, we have to ensure that the numbers going are correct and not, right? Yeah.
Perfectly summarized. Yeah.
Just to, sorry to interrupt. On
Yeah.
behalf of audience, I would like to ask one thing that what's the scope of litigation in GST, since it's a very new taxation introduced by the authorities. So what's the litigation till date? How it goes like? Because
You
I
can
was
type
not able to
the
hear you clearly. I'm sorry, Rahul. If yeah,
okay, so now can you hear me?
it's better now. Yeah, tell me.
Okay, so because I just wanted to ask that what's the status of litigation in GST department? Like since GST is a very new taxation, so how things goes like from litigation perspective or assessment perspective, like the tax authorities are believing that you whatever you did is right, or they are taking a regular assessment, or what are the actual on but like I just wanted to ask the ground reality is what from litigation point of view.
Right. So assess. देखो 100% भरोसा तो किसी को किसी पे नहीं होता, to be in a very bare language. So anything that we report in our forms is actually assessed by the tax officer. So कैसा होता था मेरे आर्टिकलशिप एक्सपीरियंस के दौरान we had to actually make multiple visits to the GST office that is in Yerwada, Pune. So we had to make multiple visits to whatever the queries that were arising from the tax officer's side. We need to clarify that, and we need to submit proofs and any documentation that has been done. राइट सो हम लोग जो भी नंबर रिपोर्ट करते हैं अपने कोई से भी फॉर्म में, दैट नंबर हैज अ बिग वर्किंग बिहाइंड दैट. इट्स नॉट जस्ट अ नंबर, राइट? सो उसके पीछे हमको सपोर्टिंग डॉक्यूमेंट्स वी नीड टू सबमिट इट टू द अथॉरिटीज. ऑफ कोर्स, टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन, देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ असेसमेंट्स एंड क्वेरीज दैट कम अप. So yes, we need to provide supporting documents in respect of that. Yes, there are a lot.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Further, I would like to shift now to Tanaya. Tanaya, can you please guide us on audit? Like it is the profile in which everything is covered, thoda thoda. So you can just
Yeah.
guide us on audit.
Yeah, right. Hi, everyone. Good evening. As introduced by Taha, I am currently working with SRBC and Company Limited as an intern 2. So I have completed 1 year and 4 months of my articleship. Basically, I would like to start with what the audit is. As everyone from our audience must have cleared inter or is pursuing inter. So you guys have fair idea about audit, I assume. So basically the audit is an official inspection of records of client so as to give opinion on true and fair view of financial statements. So as the audit is a widely known field, many people assume that we just check clients' records, we do invoice testing and etc., and give our opinion that the client's records are fine, they are showing true and fair view. But it is not limited to these things only. There are many aspects of the audit that you have to uh, uh, start from taking independence of the client. uh, then after taking independence, you decide whether or not to pursue this engagement, whether or not to do or provide services to that client. If anywhere your independence clashes, then you will have to reject to that client. Then after taking independence, you will move forward to scope and strategy. Then you will do team planning, team engagement. You will plan all your resources. Mm. After that, you will decide how much time you should provide on that engagement, within how many hours you have to complete this engagement. You will do budgeting, and then after all these things, you will start with the execution of audit. So these all are phases of the audit, and we do a risk based audit. As you all will be as you all are aware about their assertions. There are 5 assertions in the balance sheet and 4 assertions in the P&L. So what we do is we identify risk at every assertion level, like completeness. We have to make sure that every record, that every data that we receive from the client is complete in all respect. So after analyzing the risk, we perform audit procedures so as to mitigate the risk to an absorbable level. Like you all are aware about the PMT SAD, that is materiality, tolerable error, and audit differences. So after considering all these aspects, we perform our audit procedures. So this was all about the technicalities of what the audit is actually. Now I would like to address the question that everybody is thinking right now, whether to pursue audit from a big firm or from a short firm or a mid-sized firm. So see, there are many aspects from which you have to think, what are your career aspirations in the future, that is after clearing your CA. The articleship period will be of 3 years only, but after clearing CA, you have the whole life to work. So you have to decide on the basis of what you really want to do in the future. So do you want to specifically go into audit sector or into any another area, or you want to start your own business? From that perspective, you will decide whether to do articleship from a big 4 firm or a mid-sized firm. So in case of big fours, there are departmentalizations. Like if you choose audit, then you will do all the articleship in that audit area only. If you choose tax, you will do only taxation part of it. There are many technicalities and many aspects, many scopes that you will get to work on. But apart from that department, you will not learn anything else. So you will have to decide on the basis of whether if you want to do your business or if you want to start your own practice, then you will have to get more knowledge of everything. Like you should know about GST, you should know about taxation, you should be able to file ITRs, you should be able to certify on many aspects, and you should be able to do audit as well. So this is how you should think whether to pursue and how to pursue your articleship. So I would suggest if you are going for a business perfect, or if you are thinking from starting of your own practice, then you should choose or you should look for a mid-sized firm. And if you want to gain more comfort on technicalities, then you should go for a big 4, I would suggest. So I would like to get some views from my colleagues, Rahul, Vikas, and Saurabh. Taha. What are your
Tanya, I think you rightly mentioned, like, of course, working in a big firm has its own perks, and of course, there are sometimes which you wish that you would not have chosen Big Four, but trust me, that is totally temporary. I mean, of course, अगर आप mid-sized firm में भी काम करते हो, there will be times when you'll think कि आपने big firm choose करना चाहिए था. So there are perks and pros and cons of everything. But I think it's a big topic to touch to.
Yeah,
The question that arises, a big firm or a small size. So I think we can maybe Taha have a separate session on that as well.
yeah, right. Yes, I was about to say the same. Uh, we will have a separate session on it, like whether to choose Big Four or not. Whether if we are group one, if we have one group cleared and second group is pending, then what should we do?
True,
And I am
that's
thinking to
nice.
plan a session on it. So yeah. So to summarize the audit one, it is like yeah,
I am meant to conclude, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah,
So, yeah, as you rightly said, I am also looking forward to that session and would like to present my thoughts on it.
yeah,
So I would like to move towards what the role of an audit intern, or what work you will get to do when you are into your internship into audit sector. So basically, when you join the audit, you will start with the documentation part of it. Like you will get to do lots of TOD testings, testing of documentation related to purchases, sales, fixed assets, everything. Then as you grow further, as you grow older in the firm, like 2 or 3 months, you will get to execute on an area level basis. Like you will be allocated a specific area, and then you will have to perform every procedure for mitigating the risk related to that area. Say, for example, if we touch on the revenue aspect, so I would like to share one of my experiences. I have recently done a revenue audit for a client. So it was based on gross margin and discount analysis, basically. So what we have done is we have first of all, we have identified what are the risks related to revenue. Then we have designed our audit procedures so as to mitigate those risks. Like if you are talking about the gross margin analysis, then we first of all we perform variance analysis of how the revenue is flowing from year on year. What are the margins of last year's and current year? We compare both of them. Then we perform trend analysis, and there are other many aspects related to discounts also, like rationalization of discounts, whether these discounts are related to the policy of the clients, etc. So this is all how we'll get to execute all on an area basis. Like revenue, there are many areas such as PPE, foreign exchange, uh, etc. Yeah, thanks.
yeah. Thank you, Tanya. So now I would like to summarize what she said. So in audit, what we generally do, we start with planning phase. Okay, so client की nature की understanding, उसका business क्या है, कौन से field में, we start with that. Then we prepare a planning analytical review के मतलब ये पिछले साल for example 100 crores का revenue था, इस बार there is 150 crores. So why is this reason? We just broadly summarize the reason. We don't go in details because currently we are just at planning stage. उसके बाद then we start with setting the risk levels and control levels. Like अगर हम if we are doing control testing, so controls में कितना risk है, for this we see के previous years में कुछ deficiency पाई गई थी क्या, and depending upon which set our control levels into 3: high, low, medium. Okay, and based on it we set the controls levels. उसके बाद we do sampling. मतलब control risk और inherent risk को मिलाने के बाद we get a ROMO, as we know we have studied in audit. So we get sampling के parameters. These are the parameters. Okay, so इसके लिए what we have one more parameter, that is materiality, as she already said. Okay, so materiality में भी there is an overall audit financial statement materiality, जिसके base पे we calculate the performance materiality, that is 75% generally, and उसके बाद we get a AMPT, that is amount materiality posting threshold, that is एक individual account balance है कि procedure में कितना misstatement पाया जा सकता है. For example, we are doing depreciation testing. So depreciation में, for example, 100 crores का deficiency आया, and हमारा जो AMPT था, it is 80 crores. So it can be an indication that there is a misstatement, and we will do detailed checking. Okay, and इसके ऊपर होता है performance materiality, जो हम पूरा एक account based level पे या एक पूरा financial caption based level पे देखते हैं. एंड देन कम्स द ओवरऑल फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट मेटोडोलॉजी, जिसके बेस पे फिर हम रिपोर्ट प्रिपेयर करते हैं। एंड लास्ट में एट कंक्लूजन वी हैव अ फाइनल एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर, जिसमें हम डिटेल में जाते हैं कि बेसिकली व्हाई देयर इज सो मच वेरिएंस, 100 से 150 करोड़ क्यों हुआ। सो उसको हम जस्टिफाई करते हैं व्हाट वर्क वी हैव डन इन सैम्पलिंग, मतलब जो हमने हमारे टीओडी एंड कंट्रोल टेस्टिंग में जो कवर किया था उसकी रीजंस को हम जस्टिफाई करते हैं फाइनल एनालिटिकल प्रोसीजर्स में। एम आई राइट तानिया? मतलब
Yeah, of course. And
Yeah.
other than this, many other analytical procedures also we perform. Like based on the data, as you mentioned, sampling, there are margin variance analysis, trend analysis, preparer analysis, process map analysis, etc. There are a lot of analytical procedures. Yeah.
Yeah, so these are the different procedures which we do, like substantive procedure, analytical procedure, and etc. etc. So hope so you have understood like what is audit, like so it would be great. Further, now we would having the second round. Isme we will ask questions which have a one-liner response. Okay. So in this, I will ask one question, and all of you in the same sequence you have to answer. For example, first was Saurabh, second was Rahul, third was Vikas, and fourth was Tanayu. So we will give answers in the same sequence. Okay. So the first question is stipend kitna hai? The main question.
So transaction square stipend is in line with Big Four, and that is 15, 20, and 25.
Yeah.
And apart from that, they have bonus as well.
Yeah, Rahul. It is. Please unmute, Rahul. Rahul, you are on mute.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah.
As Saurabh mentioned, it is 15, 20, and 25K in Big Fours, and we are not getting any bonus element as Saurabh is getting in his form.
Yeah. Vikas.
So GT का recently बढ़ाया था stipend. It's currently, if I'm not wrong, it is 16, 17 and a half, and 20 for the 3 years.
Okay. And Tanaya.
In EY, the stipend is 15, 20, and 25 for audit, and there is no bonus involved.
Okay. So second question is.
KPMG में था ना अपने को bonus.
Second question is working hours. That is, what are the average working hours? Saurabh.
Working hours like मतलब इसको fix defined तो नहीं है, but you can say 10:30 to 8:30, and it might you have to also might work on this weekend, like not most of the time, but say out of there are 10 weekends, so 5 to 6 weekends you need to work.
Okay, Rahul.
Okay, on off season, like in months apart from September, October, November, our timing is generally 10:30 to 8 o'clock. It's in general time, and in season we we have no time. Like we guys working on weekends also, and we are working till 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, starting from 10 10 a.m. in the morning again. So yeah, this was the stuff in season and season on season.
Yeah, Vikas.
So in IDT there are monthly due dates and annual due dates as well. So during the due dates, it's like the general working hours are 10:30 to 8:30, I would say, or 8 around. So but during the month end, or I'd say year end times, it is generally extended by 2-3 hours. So by 11:30 ish at night, we are generally, but it's not to be very honest, we have not much worked on weekends unless it's very urgent. So we have not worked on weekends in IDT.
Okay, Tanaya.
In audit, generally, pressure is there as compared to everybody else. As in, you will having your engagement of at least 2 to 3 months. So in the last one or half month of your engagement, there will be a pressure. You will have to work averagely for 10 hours each day, and general timings will be 10 to 8. But during your hectic seasons, like in case of group reportings, you will have to work up to 14 to 15 hours per day too, including weekends also. So it all depends on the client. There is no as a specific timelines.
Okay. Third question is, are interdepartment? You can answer this yes or no. Okay. So are inter-department transfers allowed, and is industrial trainees allowed? For example, you are in valuation profile, you want to take transfer to M&A tax, or if you are in audit, you want to take transfer to TP. So you can answer like valuation inter-department is allowed, industrial is not allowed, or vice versa, etc. This is an example. Starting with this, Saurav.
Neither of them are allowed. Like you cannot take, you cannot take
Perfect.
you cannot
Okay.
take a inter-department transfer, and also you cannot take transfer for this industrial training.
Okay, Rahul.
Okay, industrial training is clearly allowed, but for inter-department transfer, it depends up to your partner and the manager. If they are agrees, then yeah, you can take an inter-department transfer.
Okay,
I'll
Vikas.
go with Rahul. Inter-department transfer, of course, when you're working in a big firm, ना कोई manager नहीं चाहेगा कि you shift to the other department. So he'll prefer that you work in the department. But अगर आप ज़्यादा request करते हो और you're not finding something very suitable, you can of course ask for that. And industrial training, I was honestly the first one from the IDT domain. Like मैंने अपने कोई seniors का भी नहीं सुना था. So yeah, for me it was pretty a smooth process for getting into the industrial training. So I will say it is allowed.
Yeah, Tanaya.
Audit में it's similar like Rahul and Vikas said कि inter-department transfers are allowed subject to your partner's approval, and industrial training is not allowed. Yes.
Okay. Fourth question is के what career goal is, अगर हम अभी articleship इसमें करते हैं तो इससे what career goal is aligned to? For example, valuations we can say कि जैसे Saurabh also said in introduction कि we can go into investment banking, etc. So like that you can answer. Saurabh.
Yeah. So yeah, as I told earlier, you can for valuation profile may be suitable for most of the core finance profiles such as the equity research and the investment banking. And also if you want to continue in the valuation profile, so that is also a pretty good idea. And you can, as you also learn good about financial modeling, you can go into this FP&A profile. So all these profiles you can explore post qualification.
Okay. Yeah, Rahul.
So after having experience in transfer pricing, so generally we get our hand on clients which are operating in multiple industries. Let's say IT software industries and IT industry and manufacturing industry, manufacturing of automobile and manufacturing of automobile. So yeah, we can after being qualified or after having experience in transfer pricing, we can switch to these industries. As we are very well versed with how the clients are operating their day-to-day process and how they are taking how they are transacting with their other entities operating in India as well as out of India. So yeah.
Yeah, Vikas.
So when working in GST, again, you get to work in various industries and you develop a business acumen, so which helps you ultimately to get into any of the other fields. But then again, अगर आप GST में articleship कर रहे हो, तो ultimately आपका GST ही goal होगा. मतलब other than see IDT is itself a profile. तो अगर आपको ultimately जाना है, तो आपको more or less अगर IDT में career बनाना है, तो IDT profile ही choose करना पड़ेगा. It could be customs or it could be GST or it could be corporate, so it could be practice. So इसीलिए it was not aligned to what I wanted from my career, which is a core finance profile, and that is why I switched for industrial training. So yes, more or less GST में जाना पड़ेगा और ITT में.
Right, Tanaya.
So in case you are pursuing audit from, you are pursuing your articleship from audit, you get exposure to every area of the financial statement. Basically, while your articleship, you get to know each and every aspect of the financial statement. So in that sense, I would say that every area is open for you after you qualify CA. So you can go to any of the taxation fields or IB, you can say, or you can pursue MBA or CFA also, so that you can get into core finance field. Yeah.
Okay. The one of second last question is what are the interview questions? If you could remember some of them in what were asked to you, so it would be helpful to current students to apply or to get some insights about it. Starting from you, Saurabh.
Yeah, so the interview questions were more focused toward the financial management part we study in Inter. So the questions were around like the calculation of beta, like the CAPM model, that formula RF plus RM minus RF into beta, how we calculate the market risk, how we get the risk-free rate. And there were questions around that FCFF approach, like in free cash flow to firm approach, what all deductions we need to make and what all adjustment we need to make in FCFF or the FCFE profile. And if you have a bit idea of what are the basic methods of valuation, like basically they are three: the cost, the income, and the market approach. So that is also asked. And apart from that, I think they ask more on, like, if you have this idea of the recent deals or the transactions which are happening in the startup space, or any of the big deals that might get tested.
Okay, Rahul.
Okay, for which profile you are being interviewed, there would be technical questions around that profile. Like if you are appearing for audit, there would be technical questions related to audit, or if you are appearing for DT, there would be technical questions from your DT wala part, which you read in your intermediate curriculum. But apart from technical question, in my case, in my interviewer asked me about the general knowledge related to politics, the general knowledge related to like very general stuff, like the full form of PAN card, the full form of TAN card, the reason behind the TAN card. If there is a PAN card, then why there is a necessity of TAN card, and who are eligible for that particular TAN card, or who is the current finance minister, who is the current vice finance minister, who is the president of India, number of parliament members in India. And I was like कि क्या हो रहा है dude, ये तो मैंने नहीं पढ़ा कभी. Like the general stuff I answered, but the very specific question, the number of members in the parliament, and this season of the parliaments, and yeah. So yeah, general questions, general knowledge भी prepare करके जाना before appearing in Big Four's interviews or the top firms interviews. So yeah, that was something.
So TP related कुछ questions थे क्या regarding TP, like
रिगार्डिंग टीपी तो ऑफकोर्स नहीं, टीपी रिगार्डिंग हाँ, एक्चुअली टीपी रिगार्डिंग उन्होंने पूछा था, तो दैट वाज वेरी बेसिक क्वेश्चंस, लाइक व्हाट आर द कंप्लायंसेस इन टीपी रिगार्ड टीपी इन टीपी, एंड व्हाट इज द नंबर ऑफ फॉर्म, एंड what like why TP is applicable, what's the meaning of TP, and the which section of DT refers to that particular TP wala part, and yeah, these like what are the methods from which we can calculate the arm's length price of the particular transactions, and what are the reasoning behind the choosing the method. So these were the basic questions from the TP, which if we read now section number 2, then you will have a basic idea of that particular of TP department. So yeah, on technical ground, मुझे DT का भी parallelly पूछा था, like capital gain. My question came up from capital gain, salary, house property, and as well as from section 92 also, which is TP. So yeah, these are the stuff.
okay, coming to you, Vikas.
So firstly speaking about IDT में questions, देखो, the more interviews that you appear for, the more you'll have an idea कि वो क्या पूछ रहे हैं. For me it was, so out of the big 6, मैं 2 में interview दिया था for IDT profile. So उसमें more or less the question revolved around ITC, eligibility of ITC, then the blocked credit, and the annual जो अपने return के dates होते हैं around that, and why as to GST was introduced. So what was the rationale of the government to get GST into introduction and removing all the other taxes? So this was more or less it कि वो लोगों ने क्या cover किया था. But then I'll say कि appear for maximum number of interviews. I'll tell you बहुत confidence develop होता है. And supporting what Rahul said in TP profile, in one of the big 6, I had also appeared for TP profile. उसमें क्या हुआ था, मेरे को मालूम नहीं था कि it was first time I got a call from for transfer pricing. मेरे को पता नहीं था, तो मैंने उन्हीं से पूछ लिया कि आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या पूछेंगे इंटरव्यू में. So he was like कि देखो, आपको टीपी से वो लोग नॉलेज एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं, बट आपसे जनरल क्वेश्चंस ही होंगे कि आपका टीम कोलैबोरेशन देखेंगे, एंड मोर ऑफ मतलब आप जनरली कितने अवेयर हो वो चीज देखेंगे, एंड ऑफ कोर्स द बेसिक्स विल बी टेस्टेड लाइक द डीटी एंड रिलेटेड स्टफ. सो दैट विल बी टेस्टेड, एंड आई विल टेल यू आर्टिकलशिप के एक्सपीरियंस इंटरव्यूज आर प्रीटी बेसिक. वो हो जाते हैं क्योंकि यू हैव नॉट हैड एनी एक्सपीरियंस, तो दे आर नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग मच. अगर आप बेसिक्स भी अच्छे से पढ़ के जाओगे तो विच इज सफिशिएंट, आई फील दैट.
Okay, coming to you, Anaya.
Yeah, I strongly agree with विकास कि बहुत ही जनरलाइज्ड क्वेश्चंस होते हैं इसके आर्टिकलशिप इंटरव्यूज के. वो बहुत ज्यादा ऐसा स्ट्रॉन्ग नॉलेज या फिर स्ट्रॉन्ग ऐसा टेक्निकल एक्सपीरियंस आपसे एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करते हैं. मैंने तो एक ही इंटरव्यू अपीयर किया था ईवाई का, एंड वही मेरा फर्स्ट गो में हो गया. मुझे चांस ही नहीं मिला किसी और फॉर्म में ट्राई करने का. So basically questions were based on AS and essays mostly. They gave me a case study and asked me what all procedures you will perform and what in what ways you will address the risk. So this is one very common thing that you could be asked, आपको पूछ सकते हैं इंटरव्यूज में. अदर देन दिस जनरलाइज्ड क्वेश्चंस पूछे थे कि आपका फ्यूचर आपका एक्सपेक्टेशंस क्या है फॉर्म्स के साथ में या फिर करियर गोल्स के रिलेटेड एक्सेट्रा.
Okay. So now due
Yeah,
to a
audit,
little short of yeah.
excuse me, Taha. Yeah, audit ka,
Yeah.
I would also like to add some of the points. So audit mein they like you should basically cover all the this accounting standards, standards on auditing, and this company audit portion. So when I appeared for this KPMG interview, they asked me about the inventory, the accounting standard for inventory, like how we used to value this inventory, raw material, finished goods. And from there, they also linked to the audit of inventory, like what all things we need to keep in mind while auditing inventory, and if the audit is not practicable due to some of the reasons, then what are the alternative procedures for that. And also from company audit, they asked a limit-based question. So I read that question in morning only, so I was able to answer. I think it was on this audit committee limit. So a company audit, like you should also go through once.
Okay. Now.
Yeah, I would like to add one thing. I just remember कि while partner round में हमको पूछा था regarding basic economic situation in the country अभी. So that time it was COVID second year I guess in 2021. So तभी हमको पूछा था कि what is the inflation situation. अभी यूएस ट्रेड का और चाइना का भी समथिंग वॉर चल रहा था, ट्रेड वॉर, तो उस वजह से भी रेस्ट्रिक्शंस थे काफी ट्रेड में, तो उसकी वजह से सप्लाई चेन डिसरप्शंस वगैरह थे. सो बेसिकली वो सब भी आप यू शुड बी अवेयर अबाउट द करंट इकोनॉमिक सिचुएशन दैट टाइम.
Okay. So anyone would like to add more?
Can I, Taha? Can I do that?
Yeah,
Since
yeah,
everyone
yeah,
it has
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So see, trust me, इतना सब तुम cover करोगे, but then articleship के experience, to be very honest, these are not very very tough. Of course, the big fours are वो लोग बहुत grill करते हैं, big fours and big six, the big firms बहुत grill करते हैं एक topic के अंदर. But then trust me, articleship experience अगर आपका basic भी clear है ना intermediate से, तो वो हो जाएगा. Instead, I would say कि industrial training के interviews में वो लोग बहुत grill करते हैं rather articleship, क्योंकि I had this one of those interviews जिसमें I had a discussion of 50 minutes with the manager on crypto, which was not even related or roughly related to our profile. So it was on cryptos, and articleship is pretty basic in that sense. आप कुछ मतलब अच्छे से पढ़ के जाओगे basics of inter, वो हो जाएगा आराम से.
Yeah. So now due to short of time, I guess we have to skip that third round, in which it was a conclusive remark. Like let's say first we can take the questions and then we can have that round, I guess. So
Sure.
all the participants who have questions can raise their hands, and I can give them permission to talk. Yeah, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं क्या? इतना अच्छा सेशन था क्या?
लगता है सुना ही नहीं है किसी ने.
नहीं, yeah. Yeah, Ridhya, I have given you permission.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Yeah. It's nice to hear all of you. And my question is like study related, like how the big fours, like you people manage your time with big fours, like on weekends or after work hours.
Yeah.
So I will start first. So in case of Big Four, the timings are quite stringent. Like you have to start early in the morning, say around 9:30, and you have to stretch sometimes to 12 or 1 in the night. So basically, मतलब जब आपको टाइम मिल रहा है, जब भी मिल रहा है, जिस दिन भी थोड़ा कम काम है या फिर सुबह आपको टाइम मिल रहा है अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग, यू कैन प्लान योर स्टडीज. एंड इफ अगर भाई किस्मत से वीकेंड पे काम नहीं मिला है तो वीकेंड पे पढ़ने का मोस्ट ट्राई करो कि ऑलमोस्ट सभी कवर हो जाए वीकेंड पे ही. क्योंकि पता नहीं है कि कब पीक सीजन आएगा और आपको यू हैव टू पुट ऑल द टाइम इनटू द वर्क, so that way you can plan.
Yeah. Rahul, would you like to answer?
See, Riddhi, it all depends on the profile you are choosing. If you are choosing like audit जिसका कि frequently वो आता रहता है कि seasons चलते रहते हैं उनके, so yeah, you will have to work for longer hours. But if you see in other profile, in my profile of transfer pricing, then you will see कि हाँ season में हमको बहुत ज़्यादा काम रहता है, like we can't even think of the attending any single class in a day. So सीजन में नहीं हो पाता, सीजन के हमारे 3 महीने रहते हैं, लाइक सितंबर अक्टूबर नवंबर. अपार्ट फ्रॉम द सीजन क्वाइट हेक्टिक रहता है जब असेसमेंट्स के लिए कुछ नोटिसेज आते हैं और हमको उसका सबमिशन देना पड़ता है. बट अगर मैं ऑन ऐसे जनरल बात करूँ तो हाँ ठीक है, नॉर्मल रहता है हमारा 11 to 8 o'clock अराउंड रहता है हमारा. बट इफ यू सी इन मिड साइज फर्म ना, तो वहाँ पे भी अराउंड 10 to 6 तो रहता ही रहता है. लाइक नॉर्मल मिड साइज फर्म में भी इतना तो रहता ही है. सो देयर इज अ स्लाइटली गैप ऑफ 1 or 2 hour ऑफ एक्स्ट्रा वर्क, ठीक है. बट हमको इन बिग फोर्स में वीकेंड्स ऑफ मिल जाता है. जनरली नहीं रहता वीकेंड्स में काम, प्रोवाइडेड कि कोई सीजन चल रहा हो तो रहता है, बट जनरली नहीं मिलता है. तो वो बराबर कहीं ना कहीं सेट ऑफ हो जाता है. दिस इज व्हाट आई बिलीव कि हम लोग वीकेंड्स में मैनेज कर सकते हो. सो या
Vikas.
I'll go with Rahul. Actually क्या होता है ना, हर प्रोफाइल में अगर आप कोई भी प्रोफाइल चूज कर रहे हो तो उसके कुछ स्पेसिफाइड, मतलब उसका कोई स्पेसिफाइड सीजन होता है, राइट? तो ड्यूरिंग द ऑफ सीजन यू कैन प्लान टू कवर मोर ऑफ योर स्टडीज, एंड क्योंकि ड्यूरिंग द सीजन अगर आपका पढ़ाई हो जाता है तो दैट्स ऑफ कोर्स अ बोनस. मतलब अगर आप ऑफ सीजन हो, से अगर एक महीने में अगर हमारा ड्यू डेट इज 20th ऑफ सम मंथ, तो 20th के बाद वी जनरली डोंट हैव टू वर्क फॉर एक्सटेंडेड आवर्स. तो उस टाइम पे वी कैन प्लान टू कवर मोर ऑफ अ लेक्चर्स, एंड क्योंकि हमको एक्सपेक्टेड है कि नेक्स्ट मंथ वापस से मंथली डेड एंड आ जाएगा, तो हम लोग को वापस से वर्क करना पड़ेगा. सो वी कैन प्लान दैट इन एडवांस, लेकिन इट विल डिफर फ्रॉम प्रोफाइल टू प्रोफाइल. सो वंस यू चूज द प्रोफाइल वी कैन एनी वन ऑफ अस कैन गाइड यू बेटर.
Yeah. And last is Tanu.
Yeah, so I agree with all my three colleagues कि हर एक आपके सिचुएशन वाइज डिपेंड करता है, आपके लाइन वाइज डिपेंड करता है. बट हाँ, आपको लाइक अभी ऑडिट के केस में इफ द एंगेजमेंट इज ऑफ 3 months, so basically your one last month will be of high pressure. But during the first 2 months, while scope and strategy test of controls are going on, you will get a limited time hours like 10 to 8, 10 to 9. And beyond 9, after going home you can study, or in the early morning you can study. So you will have to manage like that.
Okay. One question we received in chat is he has cleared his one group and one group is pending. So should he appear for Big Four interviews, or should he try Big Four, or should he go with small firm and then after clearing the second group he should take transfer to Big Four? So what are your views on it?
Yeah, so if you are single group cleared, then I don't think that there are hardly any chance they will shortlist you. So that the better option would be first you clear your second group and then after take a transfer, or then after you can appear for the Big Four interviews.
Yeah, Rahul.
sorry, can you please repeat the question actually because of
Yeah, the question is one person has cleared one of his groups in intermediate and he has another group pending. So he says like, should he go to Big Four, or should he first go with a small firm and then take a transfer to Big Four, or should he not start the articleship like all three of them?
Okay, so it all depends on the interest of the person. Like if the person want to acquire, want to go to Big Four, then he would have to wait for the 6 months after clearing both the groups. Then only Big Four would be consider would consider your registration. But see ना कि अगर एक ग्रुप क्लियर है तो नहीं बिग फोर में. अगर इफ यू रजिस्टर योरसेल्फ इन मिड साइज फर्म फॉर दैट 6 month ना, देन योर चांसेस टू गेटिंग इन बिग फोर would वो कहीं ना कहीं पे कम हो जाएंगे, बिकॉज बिग फोर कंसिडर नहीं करता है ट्रांसफर केसेस को, जनरली कंसिडर नहीं करता. KPMG समटाइम्स डू कंसिडर, बट या but if you immediately start your articleship after clearing one group, that will save your 6 months. So whatever decision you take now, just consider this factor that कहीं ना कहीं आपके 6 months you are saving. बट हाँ, बिग फोर्स का अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलेगा, मोस्टली नहीं मिलेगा इफ यू गो विद मिड साइज फर्म इनिशियली. देन But if you want to work in Big Four only, you want to have an idea of corporate culture and how the formal communication takes place and the hierarchy in MNCs, then you should go in Big Four and you should wait for 6 months. And after that, after clearing both the groups, then only you should apply. So yeah.
Yeah, because
So for me, the point of view is pretty different. तीन options है अपने पास, so let's go assessing one by one. पहला option ये है कि we'll not go for articleship. Articleship पे नहीं जाना will actually delay your CA final by 6 months. So that's not preferable according to me. So second thing was कि आप currently आप small size में चले जाओ, sorry big firm में चले जाओ, लेकिन big four में क्या होता है ना कि you can get into a big four. It will be difficult of course, क्योंकि किसी बंदे ने अगर 2 ग्रुप क्लियर किए हैं आपका, उससे difficult हो जाएंगे chances, but yeah there are people who I have met जो एक ग्रुप क्लियर करके भी जाते हैं. So there is a possibility, but remember ये वाला ऑप्शन चूज करते वक्त आपके पास लिमिटेड स्टडी आवर्स रहेंगे, एंड कंपनी आपको प्रेफर इसीलिए भी नहीं करेगी ना क्योंकि उनका भी बिजनेस लॉस हो रहा है. अगर आपको फिर से सेकंड ग्रुप के लिए छुट्टी चाहिए होगी तो उनका भी तो मतलब थिंक फ्रॉम अ कंपनीज पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, तो उनको भी तो छुट्टी देनी पड़ रही है अपने एम्प्लॉइज को, तो they'll not really be interested in you over someone who has cleared both groups. That's one point. So according to me, third point is pretty much the ideal one कि आप अभी currently mid या small size firm में जाओ, clear your second group and then you get transferred to the big four, क्योंकि opportunities आते हैं. राहुल ने सही कहा कि rarely आते हैं transfer cases, rarely लेती है company, but yes there is a possibility of course which will, while exercising this option, आपका CA final भी delay नहीं होगा. So that's what an ideal option according to me.
Yeah, I would like to interrupt this. For few of the firms, they actually have a time limit for which you can take a transfer. I remember in case of PwC, it was there 9-month transfer case is allowed. So in all that firm you can join, and also if you have a strong reference, say a director level or a partner level reference in any of the big four, then it might happen that you can be able to get into that firm even having a single group cleared.
True. And remember boss, one more thing, अगर आप small size firm choose कर रहे हो ना over big four, तो remember you are foregoing an opportunity to work for big four. तो आप अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो and just clear the second group, क्योंकि अगर आप ये वाला एक और attempt लगाते हो ना तो big four generally prefer नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि जब तक आप उसके बाद group clear करोगे तो आपके क्या 1 साल तो निकल ही गया articleship का, उसके बाद chances बहुत difficult हो जाते हैं. So try to get into the first 6 months transfer लेने का.
Yeah, Tanaya, any inputs from your side?
Yeah. So EY में if you appear with the single group ना, so chances तो पहले ही कम है कि एक group के साथ आपका selection हो गया. But by any chance, if you have strong basics and strong knowledge, if you could show that impact on the during your interviews, then you can get selected. But but in that case, you will be joined as a management trainee. Your articleship will not start. So after clearing both groups only, आपका articleship tenure चालू होगा. So वो मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनिंग के जैसे है. आप फिर उस केस में आपके ऊपर एक रिस्क हो जाता है कि आपको लिमिटेड आवर्स मिलते हैं स्टडी के लिए. सो वो ग्रुप ना क्लियर करने का एक रिस्क हो जाता है. सो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि आप पहले बोथ ग्रुप्स कर लो क्लियर, उसके बाद ही आप अपीयर करो, इफ यू कैन अफोर्ड वेस्टिंग those 6 months. Yeah.
Okay. Another question which we received is in which we can answer that in 1 or 2 lines due to timing constraints. So whether English fluency is compulsory for Big Four or Big Six? Starting with you, Saurabh.
Like if you are able to articulate well or speak in a fluent way, like not a perfect English, like you, in case you have studied from Oxford or Harvard, but if you can explain and better articulate yourself, then you would be able to crack the interview. And actually we are student only, say, so they don't consider this fact that you are able to speak English properly or not.
Yeah, Rahul.
Of course, that add some value, that add some points in your interview if you are fluent in English. But it's not a very hard and fast rule that you must be fluent in English. But you must be doing a general English, like you are not doing some grammatical error, or you are not taking a long pauses in your answers. So yeah, it is not hard and fast rule. If you are very reasonable with this language of English, then yeah, you may appear in Big Four, not in issues.
Okay, Vikas.
So basic English is of course very much required. but remember, it's more important to how you put your idea forward. आप हिंदी में बोलते हो बीच में, it doesn't matter. अगर आप एक पूरे इंटरव्यू में से 5 मिनट हिंदी 10 मिनट हिंदी ऐसे बोलते हो, it doesn't matter. You should be able to put forward your idea. That's of much more importance. English is of course a basic, आपको basics आने चाहिए, and that is a primary requirement. Yes.
Yeah. Kanaya.
Totally agree with everybody. So English is means आना तो चाहिए, it's a requirement, but ऐसा भी नहीं कि अगर आपको इंग्लिश में या फिर थोड़ी बहुत दिक्कत जाती है, आप हिंदी में बात करते हो तो हार्ड एंड फास्ट ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं है. It's okay.
Yeah. One specific question for Rahul. It is he has got a call from KPMG for TP interview. So are there any suggestions from your side for him, Omkar?
Okay, so someone is getting call from KPMG TP now. Okay. Omkar, if you can unmute yourself, we can have a one-to-one discussion.
I think I can share your number if you don't have any problem, and you both can have a discussion. It will be good.
Not an issue. But in general, ठीक है ओमकार, हम one to one discuss तो कर लेंगे. अभी in general मैं बोल देता हूँ कि if you are getting a call from TP, call for TP now, then see, you would be restricted to section number 92 only and some sections of litigation. Okay. So before deciding that कि तुमको TP में ही आना है, just analyze that what other opportunities you are having. But if you are having an opportunity of that, I'm audible clearly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have other opportunities like in direct taxation, you have the opportunities. So there are so many sections which you can explore in your during the articleship if you pursue in direct taxation. If you have other opportunities, then go for those opportunities. Like if you're DT opportunity and that TP wala opportunity, go for DT, I would say. But if you don't have the other opportunities, come in TP. It's a very good field. If you are getting advisory related work, the creamiest of the creamy layer. Like DT में भी इतनी अच्छी advisories नहीं होती है जितना कि अच्छा TP में advisories का काम रहता है. So I would say it all depends on the nature of the work or the quality of work which your team have. All depends on that thing कि हमारी टीम के पास में काम कैसा है and what kind of work we are getting. It all depends on those things, and that is particularly depends on a luck factor. So yeah, if you are very lucky enough, you would be getting the advisory wala work. Come in TP if you don't have the other opportunity or in corporate taxation or in DT. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay. One of the question is, but I don't think it is related to topic. It says, will you prefer industrial training after before articleship or it's not required? इस पे लगता है अलग से एक सेशन इस पे भी लेना पड़ेगा.
लगेगा पक्का एक सेशन लगेगा.
हाँ. So in that session we can cover two topics like industrial training after articleship and other is के small size choose करे या big four choose करे.
Definitely we can have a discussion on that. Yes.
Because both of them have pros and cons. मतलब in short अगर मैं in short में बोलूँ, so if you are not going for industrial training and if you are staying in the same company, you will get the more depth of the subject in which you are doing articleship and CFIM की study भी ज़्यादा मिलेगी. But as if you go in industrial training, आपको और एक नया exposure मिलता है, stipend थोड़ा ज़्यादा मिलता है, and but studies are compromised in that. So there are both pros and cons and everything. So I think it is a short but sweet answer. We can cover in detail later on.
Yes.
Yeah. So another question is, she has cleared her CA into both groups and will complete her articleship, 2 years of articleship in 3 days. So how to apply for Big Fours? What is the process? So I guess now we already answered that in transfer question. It is difficult, very difficult now. But still we can just briefly explain the process. Like for all Big Fours, the process will be same. So I guess we can divide the rounds. So first, if we can say the aptitude test part can be explained by Saurabh, then the GD part can be explained by Rahul. Technical round can be explained by Vikas, and partner round can be explained by Tanaya. So generally, itne rounds hote. There is one more HR ka round, so it can be covered with GD. So I guess Vikas, you can cover the GD as well. Matlab the HR and technical round can be covered by you.
I'll do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Saurabh, starting from you, can you explain the process, like first aptitude test or CV forwarding one of this?
So in KPMG, basically we used to apply through some of the reference who is working in a KPMG, or else you have to go through that BSR assessment test. In that, you have to apply, give the test, and after that, you have to upload your CV on that portal. And after that, you receive the call for this group discussion. So, shall I speak about group discussion as also?
No, group discussion can be spoken by Rahul. Yeah.
Sorry, at EY we didn't get to appear in this round. So we are analyzed on the basis of the technical interview and the partner level interview. So yeah.
Yeah, no
So that was
problem. I will only explain about this group discussion.
Yeah.
So basically, in group discussion, what you there is a say a panelist who will be judging you on the basis of what you speak and what points you put forward, and you say it would be a group of 10 to 15 people, and you would be given a topic, and you have to put forward your pros, like if you are in favor of that point, or in case you are against, you have to put that point. And one thing, to crack a group discussion, I would advise, like, please try to either the start the group discussion or conclude it. So that are the two main sections where the panelist would highlight your presence.
Yeah. Vikas, can you cover the HR and technical all around?
Sure. So the technical part is more of what we have already spoken about. When we covered the interview questions, so it was of course it was profile wise. So अपन ने वहाँ पे already deep discussion किया है. I think we need not get into that again. HR में क्या होता है? HR में they generally see कि आपका perspective कैसा है. If you have a positive approach about anything, they give you different situations. They put you in different situations. वो बोलेंगे कि आप इस situation में हो, तो what will you like to do in this situation? So ऐसे they'll give you options, and of course they like to know about where you want to be in like 5 years career, or they want to know basically कि आप उनके साथ रहोगे या नहीं, and questions like that, like the basic related to your human nature or behavioral questions, and what will you do in long term career with your life, or what are you looking for currently that you have chosen this profile. So that is more of HR type questions, and interview questions we have already discussed, so that covers more or less.
Yeah. Tanaya, the last one, the partner round.
Yeah. So till the time you reach to the partner round, you have already gone through technical test, GD, and 2 technical interviews. So in the partner round, they do not expect you to answer most of the technical parts, or they will not ask you technicalities. They will mainly focus on your behavior. How do you engage team, and how do you engage into a conversation? They will ask you about your family background, etc., and they will try to know ki, how's your health, means how often can you get into medicals and you will take leaves, etc. How far do you stay from the location, like from Pune to, I am from Amravati, so how far is the distance from Pune to Amravati, so that they can calculate ki if एक बार आप घर पे जाओगे तो you will take at least 7 days, so 1 week is gone there. So this kind of analysis they do while they are interviewing you. Further, they will ask you case study based questions, like if you are put into a situation, what will you do? How will you tackle the situation, and etc. Then they focus on your future plannings, like if you are planning to study anything apart from your BComs and all mandatory ICI things. So if you are planning to study CFA, MBA, etc. in the future, so that they can analyze in the long term aspect. Yes.
Okay. So I guess there are no more questions, but we have received some fan following or because in the comments. So yeah. So shall we end the session, or shall we wait for 5 more minutes?
Taha, I'd like to actually add on to the interview thing, last thing. I'll suggest appear for maximum number of interviews. मैंने इस पे पहले भी stress किया था, appear for maximum number of interviews. You get to know कि क्या एक pattern होता है हमेशा interviewer का, वो क्या पूछ रहे हैं crisp profile के लिए. For me, speaking for me, मैंने 15 interviews, 15 different companies. For my articleship, I had actually appeared for interviews, and out of the big 6, I had actually received an offer from 3 of them. So that was because कि मैंने big 6 में top firms में बाद में apply किया था, and I had actually undergone many interviews before that. तो मेरे को एक pattern समझ में आ रहा था, and you are able to identify कि ये बंदा क्या पूछ सकता है किस profile के लिए. So yeah, appear for maximum number of interviews so that you at least have options in hand. वरना आप decide करोगे कि आपको audit में जाना है, but अगर आपको audit का option ही नहीं मिला, तो आपको जाना ही पड़ेगा ultimately जो हाथ में आ रहा है. So if we are not getting any option, all this discussion is pretty much useless. So अगर ये अपन तभी discuss कर रहे हैं when you have options in hand, right? So just understand that and appear for maximum number of interviews, and of course you'll crack them with experience.
Yeah, we have received one more question. How to manage college and Big Four? Like the person is in a reputed college and he don't want to lose his college as well and want to manage both of them, Big Four and college. So is it possible or not?
Anyone going in for
So
that?
yeah,
It
anyone
would
can
be
answer.
it would be difficult, no, yaar. If your college is regular and you have to attend the office at the
Right.
same time, then how it would be possible? Yeah, like on weekends, like on Saturday, you may attend the college, but other weekdays you have to come to office only. No other choice is left.
Yeah,
Something
Yeah.
somewhere has to be foregone, right?
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, I would like to say, if अगर आप बताते हो during your interview that you have regular college, the chances are less that you will be get selected because they won't allow you.
Agree. I'll go with that.
yeah.
They won't allow.
Yeah, so at last, I would like to first of all thank all participants. They have done a quite wonderful job and they have stayed silent and calm. And I would like to thank our panelists, Vikas, Tanya, Rahul, and Saurabh, for guiding them and for sparing their valuable time for the session. At last, we can just on the cameras and can have a photo.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and of course thanks to ICI and Taha, a huge, I mean, big support. You all this initiative that you're taking and your active participation and everything, and it's truly commendable. I mean it. I mean, it's amazing how you do that with all efficiency.
Yeah, thanks
The
Taha,
great
for
speakers like you,
thank,
the great speakers like you are the motivation of the people who get me in Josh.
thanks
Arey,
Taha,
sir.
for having us,
But the
and
recording.
thanks to ICI for having us on this platform.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Thanks to
Yes.
all of you guys. I got a lot of insights from you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
And regarding any CV forwards and all, you can contact any one of them on LinkedIn. They all are on LinkedIn, guys, I guess. Okay.
Yes,
So you
surely,
can
anytime.
connect with them on LinkedIn and you can share their CVs over there. So they can forward in case if you need some references. So they can share in their respective forms.
Of
Okay.
course, of course.
So
Happy to help.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Thanks
everyone.
everyone. Thank you
Thank
everyone.
you so much,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank you,
Bye bye.
everyone. Bye.